Hi, today we're going to talk about decision making. Now, as human beings, we don't always make the best decisions. For instance, I could choose to record a 10-minute video sequence straight through in a single take with improper lighting and audio equipment. Or I might make a decision to purchase an inferior BI solution. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So this is something that I call the BI matrix. And it's got gorgeous on the x-axis and genius on the y-axis. And it's going to have a line, diagonal line, going up the chart, and this is what's going to be called the genius line. So if you're a BI vendor, you're either going to be above the genius line or below the genius line. Now the scale is going to be from 0 to 10 into 0 to 10. Let's get started. All right, so if we've got a BI vendor and they fall between a 0 and 5, gorgeous, and a 0 and 5, genius, they're going to be in what's called the no-go zone. Now, vendors in this zone are typically going to be older, outdated technology. They're going to have singular, isolated use cases, and most certainly, they're not going to be scalable. So if you find yourself with a vendor in this zone, move on. There's a better solution out there. All right, so if you fall between a 5 and 10 gorgeous and are below the genius line, you're going to be in what's called the date zone. Now, date zone vendors are temporary, short-term solutions. And the reason for that is because they lack the substance and integrity necessary to carry an enterprise through the long term. Now, while aesthetically pleasing, these vendors are not going to be able to scale very well. And certainly, you're not going to be able to govern them very well. And governance is something that in today you need. So there's better solutions out there. Move on. All right, so if you fall between a 5 and 7 gorgeous and a 5 and 7 genius, you're going to be in what's called the buzzword zone. Now, buzzword vendors, aka hype vendors, are going to rely on, industry buzzwords and up-and-coming technology to help advance the sale. What they're not going to be is a proven enterprise solution for the long term. And typically my sniff test for these guys is if you can't do row-level security at an enterprise level, you've got a lot of work to do. Move on. All right, so if we're between a 0 and 5 gorgeous and a 5 and 10 genius, you're going to be in what's called the niche zone. Now, niche vendors are going to focus primarily on really specific industry solutions, and they're going to do a fantastic job at it. But the problem with the niche vendors is typically that if you've bought one, you've bought many. And what that does is throw your enterprise into a realm where you've got many different solutions for many different things, and it's impossible to govern. It's not the same as having one platform. Probably more important than that is that these niche vendors will not be found in the leaders category of the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So keep that in mind as you're searching for a BI solution. All right, so if you fall between a 5 and 7 gorgeous and say a 7 and 8 genius, you're going to be in what's called the Carnies zone. This is everybody's favorite zone. You know what a Carney is? They're going to reel you in with really enticing things like low cost and big promises. Everybody wants to win that big giant teddy bear hanging up on the wall. But the Carnies want to keep you in their carnival. You have to buy their data services. You have to buy their cloud services. You have to buy all of their offerings in order to even have a remotely complete solution. Carnies are going to have what I call really commoditized, lowest common denominator BI. It's going to have low breadth of use and really limited functionality. And probably the most important thing to me is that you're never going to be above an 8 Genius if you force all your customers to use one and only one cloud platform. Move on. Alright, so that leaves us with one last zone, and this one is commonly known as the Qlik zone. This is where you get the whole solution, because Qlik is a platform, and with that platform you get security and integration and customization, and you get self-service, and you get governance, you get advanced analytics and augmented intelligence, geo-analytics, pixel perfect reporting, and we're cloud neutral, or we can go on-prem, and we can do this all with multiple disparate data sources at scale. But the one thing none of these other vendors will ever be able to do is provide you with the associative experience, right? With Qlik, you can see data in ways that you have never imagined and that you have never seen before. That is what makes Qlik different. That is what makes Qlik special. So if you haven't checked us out, please do at www.qlik.com. And thanks again for taking the time to watch this video today, and I really look forward to doing more of these with you in the future. So until then, thanks for watching.